or whatever we call it, of the time capsule. First, I'd like to do is introduce some of the elected officials that are here today. We have the council president, Alderman at Large, Miguel Rodriguez, who is also the chairman of the 125th committee. In the first ward, we have Alderman Joe Massey and Alderman Tom Burr. Second ward, Alderman Sadness and Alderman Lucchetti. Third ward, Alderwoman Kate Brancosoon and Alderman Mike Amadio. I'll try to say that name again later. And in the fourth ward, Alderman Joel Sierra and Alderman Sandy Summers, Alderwoman Sandy Summers. We also have former Alderman Larry Bubis here, I saw earlier, and John Perino from the Middletown School Board. So on behalf of the 125th Committee, and who have done a tremendous amount of work with Miguel, we have Sean Giroux, who is the parade chairman, and we do hope that all of you will attend the parade tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's going to be a fantastic parade. We have at least 10 major bands, floats. We have, I believe, over 2,000 marchers confirmed between all the service organizations and parade members. So we broke ground on a new city hall on May 7th, 1910. Mayor Lawrence passed the box, the time capsule, to Commissioner Stratton, laying the cornerstone on August 2nd, 1910. The story of the cornerstone and the ceremony are on the back of the program, along with all the contents that were listed in the newspaper at that time. But Jerry is a historical person here, involved with the Middletown Historical Society, and he's going to come up and give you a little history.
Thank you. Can everybody hear? These are improvements. Middletown was incorporated as a village in March 1848 under general village law with Stacy Beeks Jr., very important name in Middletown history, our first postmaster, becoming our first village president. Almost immediately began a 40-year campaign for a city charter. In 1872, a charter attempt failed, but resulted in an expanded form of village government with a ward system and additional trustees. Halstead Sweet, another famous name, Middletown was elected village president. Finally, in 1887, a city charter bill passed the New York legislature, but it was vetoed by Governor Hill because it gave the city the authority to exempt new businesses from taxation. Governor Hill thought that was a dangerous precedent to set. So in 1888, Senator Henry Lau, we all know Lau Avenue, his city charter bill was passed and was signed by Governor David B. Hill on June 9, 1888, and it became effective 20 days later on June 29th, when we officially became a city. On July 4th, 1888, there was a great celebration in Middletown. Johnny Eisman, who had been village president, became our first Middletown mayor. And you'll see Eisman was a baker, and the Eisman building is the one that Mr. Boddy now owns. It's down on the corner of James Depot. It still stands. So a move to build the City Hall was soon underway, and 5 years later, in 1893, the Common Council City Hall Act created the City Hall Commission to get started on the project and also appropriated $60,000. Several attempts to find a location failed. An attempt to increase the amount of money also failed. So this continued to be a struggle. In 1899, property was acquired on the corner of James Street, and that was the property of James Little, who named James Street after himself. But that property was sold in 1907 to the federal government for a new post office. So the commission then acquired the adjoining properties. There were two houses next to it, and in 1909 selected David H. Canfield of Middletown, who was one of 3 architects who applied to be the City Hall architect. Groundbreaking was on May 9th, 1910, and the cornerstone was laid with great ceremony on August 2nd, 1910. Included on that City Hall Commission were George Clemson, John Eisman, Dr. Theodore Mills, and Chairman William D. Stratton, all famous Middletown names. The speeches that day talk a lot about the reverses, but also the progress in Middletown since it became a city. Its thriving industry, its new roads, paved streets, new parks, Thrall Library, Thrall Hospital, new firehouses, schools, the filter plant, the trolleys, the armory, and so on. And how, in spite of opposition, the many improvements were worth the cost. Taxes for Middletown totaled over $165,000 that year. That was the total city budget. And that was hard to get passed. City officials had been housed in a single back room of the Eagle Hose Company firehouse on King Street, right behind us where the parking lot is, then later moved to the Times building. The feeling was pervasive that they had outgrown these offices, and their pride in the new city hall can be read in every speech. The time capsule, therefore, contains mostly the record of these achievements, and it is that sense of community that I would like to convey today. These are their bylaws, their charters, their civic leaders, the written accounts in the newspapers of the day of their common commitments to the institutions that made them a city. This is the gift that they left for us, and I'm delighted that we are able to honor their request and open that small copper box that contains so much for all of us to see. We hope it has survived well its 103 years.
Yeah. Well, the little girls gotta, you guys gotta move. Wanna stand in front of me, maybe? The way you can see?
Explain what's all in
Jerry, explain some of this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck.
Why don't you grab the mic and explain? You know more. We got this birthday speech of Senator. Yeah, there. First one is a birthday speech of Senator Chauncey M. Depew. I wonder if any relation to Dan Depew. Is it the senator?
He is a relation to Ray. Ray was delighted when he read that.
Right, Ray Depew was an alderman here in the city of Middletown. We have a picture of J.F. Moore. He was a foreman for the Department of Public Works, it looks like, or no, the O&W Railroad. More pictures of people that were involved, I guess, with City Hall. You want to open that? A list of letters in this box. That might be interesting, right? Yeah. Let's try this. They have the seal envelope here.
Oh, it's wet.
Might be a bunch of money.
Oh, you might want to separate that.
I hereby leave all of my... This is the items deposited. It's a list of all the items that were deposited into the quarterstone. So it's a little...
Might want to separate it all.
Yep, separate them out.
Table of contents.
I would say, considering 103 years and none of this is archival material, everything looks like it's in remarkably good shape. They did a great job.
Yeah, it sure does.
This is the Calvary Baptist Church, and listing of their deacons and the board members of the church. This is the 125th anniversary of the first Congregational Church. So I guess that may, I don't know what it is, but it's an axle of some type here.
Nice.
The paper held up pretty good.
Really well.
Yeah.
Read the pictures too.
It had to be dry.
Oh, see, they took out all the diamonds and
They're a
stuff
little
already.
moist. Pictures of J.C.R. Taylor. I saw a Taylor here before. Maybe a relative.
Maybe somebody took their own.
Charles. I can't make out the last name. Just a whole bunch of pictures. different. They're a little moldy and wet. This is the Eagle Fire Company at the time. Volunteer Fire Company still, and of course the Eagle Fire Company still in operation here in the city.
Silver dollar.
This is a silver dollar from the Hulse Brothers Jewelers donated it, and
Oh yeah, but it's paper.
we know that this has some value to it because we saw it on the listing, and John Numchuck did a little research on it. It's worth about $500 today, I think, and a silver certificate, yeah, one silver. Yeah.
I give that right to John.
And Son Bread and Cake Bakers.
I can get it to your head.
We have the summer guide timetable for the O&W Railroad.
Give that to Lou.
Oh, that's nice.
Spread it out a little
That's
bit.
for Martin.
Again, more pictures. This was the chief of the Middletown Fire Department. I guess a business card of some type.
Chief Hyam,
Chief Heim, yes.
many years.
Yep. This was a booklet issued by the Men's Association of Middletown, New York, featuring the rail stations and some of the historical spots in the city at the time. This is an old fire truck, our wagon, a horse-pulled fire truck. Some more receipts from the Hotel Brown. Anybody know where that was?
Right next door.
Right next door? I thought that was the Mitchell.
It was the Hotel Brown before it was the Mitchell
Oh,
Inn.
all right.
Right over here. The bank is.
This is something falling apart. The bylaws of the preamble and bylaws of the city. It looks like in a the fire department. Privileges of the fire department. The Constitution and bylaws of the Middletown Monhagan Hose Company.
Hey,
Hey. Another one.
You want to read some of this?
boy, they packed a lot in there.
This is the McCoy bylaws. It looks like this whole section here is all the bylaws from the fire department and pictures of the photos of the fire department.
Those will be great when they're on display.
This is the O&W Railway. The map at the time of the O&W Western Railway.
Timetable.
Yeah. Oh, here's somebody who thought they put this one in plastic. Well, something, cellophane, whatever. It's an abstract, McDonald, editor of the Daily, I can't make out that word.
Argus.
Argus?
Daily Argus.
And this was August 2nd, 1910. Here's the old Middletown Times Press. Dated, better be that date, right? Friday, April 9th, 1909. Cost 2 cents. We're the Times Old record, right here. There you go. There's a photographer there, huh?
I don't set the prices, man.
This is, the city letterhead at the time. It might solve, I think the Indian is on there. Because we've had some debate over the years over what the logo means in the Common Council room.
City seal.
The city seal.